What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Hey, Soylent Samurai, the Soylentry Samurai, the Soylent's mother-loving Samurai. You know what it is, the Soylent Samurai back. UFC 249, about to make some predictions here. Red hot picks that only the Soylents can give you. I picked them all, okay? I picked Fury versus Wilder. I picked Diaz versus McGregor too. I picked Hillary Clinton versus Trump, okay? I've made all the predictions. I don't necessarily agree with the result, but I'm always correct and I'm always on point. But guess what? We've got a big fight card coming up, and you know, we're heading all the way to Florida, Jacksonville. I was there just last year and it's beautiful there. It's a great place for the UFC to put on a show, and you know, this quarantine nonsense has got everyone wired. You know, I don't necessarily sort of agree with the precautions that's being taken, but hey, you know, be in the world but not of it, as they say. And we're just going to kick straight into it, okay? None of these bells and whistles, okay? I'm just going to give you the picks and you can bet the house on it, okay? Because, you know, let's face it, not many things are certain in this life. But the way I can pick the sport and the way I read the game, ain't nothing sweeter. Okay, heading to the preliminary card, we've got Vicente Luque versus Niko Price. Now, these guys are welterweights. I like both of them, but my heart's going to have to go with Niko Price, okay? The kid's fantastic. I like what he does. I like the game he presents. And you know what? He's going to bring the action tomorrow. I like to stare down. Okay, I see it in his eyes. Okay, heading into the women's strawweight fight contendership. Carla Esparza versus Michelle Waterson. Now, Carla Esparza's been, you know, she won Ultimate Fighter. She's a ground fighter. She likes to take things down. But Michelle Waterson, you know, the karate hotties just always had a more well-rounded game. I'm going to have to go with the karate hottie on this one. Michelle Waterson takes it in the second round. TKO finish. Now, heavyweight fight next. Alexey Olynyk. I've always had trouble saying that name, but I love that type of Russian. He's a gangster versus Fabrício Werdum coming back. You know, Fabrício Werdum tested positive. He pissed hot for steroids. And, you know, boner pills or whatever these guys are taking. But, you know, he's back and he's about to make a statement. I like Olynyk, but essentially my heart's with Fabrício on this one. He must be hungry, all right? He's coming back into the game. I feel as though if he's on point on the day, he can beat Olynyk, even though, you know, Olynyk has a pre-decision for taking the fights to the ground. I think that Fabrício Werdum is too dangerous off the back if it goes there. Plus, on the feet, he has moments of brilliance, and he can clip him, take him down, finish the fight. I think Fabrício Werdum's going to finish the fight in the third round. Moving into the welterweights, Donald Cerrone versus Anthony Pettis. Talking about a firefight. These guys love to throw and bang. I like Donald Cerrone. I like Anthony Pettis. Two stand-up kickboxers, two flashy fighters. I like what both of these guys do. They sell tickets. They make money. They take cash, but neither one of these guys, I think, are in title contention at the moment, okay? Both of the guys need to get a win, which makes this fight ultra interesting. Now, Anthony Pettis is coming off of he just had a few rough fights. You know, what happened with him and Ferguson was such a, you know, a devastating fight. I believe that takes its toll on a guy, okay? He's taking a little bit of time off, and Donald Cerrone is also coming off a loss too to Conor McGregor. Now, both of these guys want to get back into action. They want to get back into contendership. I think that Donald Cerrone is not, his heart's not in it to take the title anymore. I think he's in there purely to make money, and that's nothing against Donald Cerrone. We love you for that, cowboy. We love the way you fight. Anthony Pettis, I think that he might have the right combination to clip you out. Donald Cerrone, and you know, I love Donald Cerrone. And it breaks my heart to pick against him, but I'm going to have to pick Anthony Pettis. And dare I say it's going to be a round one TKO. Okay, these boys aren't going to come out whispering at each other, going to be slapping around each other. These boys are going to be throwing bombs. So, you know, Anthony Pettis takes this fight. Moving into the main card, opening up with a couple of big boy heavyweights. Greg Hardy versus Yorgan de Castro. Yorgan de Castro. Yorgan de Castro is a dangerous guy. I know not much is known about him, but I tell you what, the guy's on a 6-0 win streak. He's hailing all the way from an island just off of Africa. Sorry, I forget where he's from. Sorry, he was born, he's fighting out of Cape Verde. I believe it's pronounced. But he's fighting Greg Hardy. Greg Hardy's just, whenever you look at Greg Hardy, you just see bad intentions. This guy's dangerous, okay? Greg Hardy's a professional athlete for a long time. Yorgan, he's a little bit shorter. He's got his work cut out for him. Dare I say I'm going to have to pick Greg Hardy on this one, purely from UFC experience, caliber of opponent, and athleticism. I think that Greg Hardy can end a fight very quickly. Yorgan de Castro, not much is known about him. We haven't seen him fight too much in the UFC, but you know what? Bless him for taking the fight and stepping in. But I'm going to have to take Greg Hardy on this one. Moving into the next fight. Catch weight, baby! Jeremy Little Heathen Stevens versus Calvin Kattar. This fight's going to be good, okay? Both of these guys are going to come out swinging. Calvin Kattar, love him. Like what he does. He's an exciting fighter, but Jeremy Stevens, wow. The kid has just an illustrious career. He's fought the who's who. He's finished people. You know, not many fighters have ever fought him and taken him out easily. I think as long as he's on point, as long as Jeremy Stevens is on point, he's going to take out this fight. I'm going to pick Jeremy Stevens first round knockout. Moving to the next fight, heavyweights. Talking about the biggest boys in the card at the moment, possibly the division, dare I say. Francis Ngannou versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Now, whoa, I love watching Rozenstruik. This guy's, you know, he's been steamrolling people, taking people out quickly, devastatingly, and he finished over him in the third round. You know, that was a grueling fight. He was possibly losing up on points up until that last round, but man, you know, all he needs is a fraction of a second to finish the fight. He's taking on Francis Ngannou, and you know, one thing is clear: this man has no fear. Okay, and if anyone has a terrifying sort of presence in the octagon at the moment, is Francis Ngannou. Not many people are calling him out. He called him out straight away. Now that might be just enough to rattle the cage of Francis Ngannou, okay? He's never in his career has he had somebody possibly take the action to him and then walk him down. You know, Stipe showed us what a fantastic champion is by taking on, you know, arguably the most terrifying fighter in the heavyweight division, purely from an aesthetics point of view and mysterious, cold, killer appeal that the man has. But you know what? This is hard to pick. I want Rozenstruik to win, but I'm going to have to say my brain's thinking Francis Ngannou, okay? Nothing seems to faze him. The guy gets punched in the head, and it doesn't really seem to rattle him up too much. Maybe Rozenstruik can clip him up, take him down, you know, wear him out a little bit, and grind him out to a decision win. That'd be the way I'd see Rozenstruik wins if he wants to fight smart, but otherwise I'd have to say Francis Ngannou is going to win the fight. If it is a slobber knocker and if it's a 3-round brawler, I'm going to have to say Francis Ngannou still takes out the fight. Next, cat up the ranks. Bantamweights going hard. What's not to love about this fight? You got Henry Cejudo, current champion, 2-division champ. You know, funny fighter to watch, fun fighter, entertaining, can talk the talk, versus the master of mind games, Dominick Cruz. Okay, this guy's coming out of retirement. He's come to take on the champ. Who doesn't love Dominick Cruz? You know, the guy's been fantastic all through his career. He's a great analysis. You know what? I'm gonna say Dominick Cruz is gonna take the fight. You know, I think he's got the height advantage over Henry Cejudo. As long as he can keep the fight standing, which will be the big test, I think it's Dominick Cruz. You know, Dominick Cruz has an awkward style. He has the ability to dance around his opponent and keep the fight standing. He's been able to do that against Uriah Faber in the past. Although Henry Cejudo is a different animal, you know, he's an Olympian caliber wrestler, I feel as though Dominick Cruz he might be obscure enough to throw him off. and he might be able to take out the fight. So, Dominick Cruz, let's see what's cracking tomorrow, baby. Bantamweights. Moving on to the headliner fight of the card, and who doesn't want? I mean, it's lightweight. Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje. I've seen Tony Ferguson in person. I have no idea how this guy can cut down to lightweight. This guy's an animal. He's huge. Taking Justin Gaethje on, you know, it's the fight that nobody wanted, that everyone is only too happy to see. These guys are notorious putting on shows, bloody matches. If you really want to get your bread and circus out there, these two guys are going to serve it up for you. You know, prepare to have your mind blown and be hypnotized, because it's going to be a hypnotism-free bloodbath tomorrow. Both of these guys, I think, have the ability to take damage and move forward. Also, both of these guys have the ability to hit fighters with things that they weren't expecting. You know, awkward punches coming from weird angles. Tony Ferguson has the ability to dance around and, you know, has a variety of weapons, whereas Justin Gaethje has the ability to take so much damage and keep pushing forward. Who knows, maybe he can take out Tony Ferguson, tire him out. You know, maybe Justin has the gas tank to do it. Tony Ferguson has he's done a recent weight cut. He's been thinking he's going to fight Nurmagomedov, you know, coming up, but, you know, who knows. I'm going to have to go Tony Ferguson on this. I'm going to have to say Tony Ferguson is going to take out the fight. I want him to win, not only because I think that he can win, is that I want him to one day have the title. I want him to one day be able to sort of say that he's the division champion. Tony Ferguson, I think he's going to rock the show. Still love Justin, but Tony Ferguson's going to take him out. And that about winds it up. What more can be said? UFC 249. It's going to be a slobber knocker. Yeah. I'll see you there. Hey, you Soylent Samurai, the Soylentry Samurai, the Soylent's mother lover samurai. Oh! What do you reckon? Here you go for UFC 249, player. What do you reckon? You want to go for a walk, don't you? You want to go for a walk, don't you? Take you for a walk in a little while, player. How you like that? How you like that? How you like that? This is how I practice my rear nakeds, like that. You know what I'm saying? I cut it. Make sure you cut. Use the blade. Use the blade of your hands. Oh, you want to stand up? You want to do some stand up? You want to do some striking, player?